Good morning. Welcome to this service of morning prayer for November the 9th. My name is Susan Drain. I am a lay reader in this Cathedral Church of All Saints in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Lord, open our lips, and our mouth shall proclaim your praise. Be still and aware of the presence of God within and all around. Let us pray. Loving God, we thank you for this day and for this time when we can turn our thoughts from busyness and responsibility to your light and your peace. We thank you for all your gifts, for your creation around us, for the abundance of your provision for us, for friends and loved ones, and for both the blessings and the challenges that enrich our lives. We thank you for the poets and the visionaries who show us ourselves. Amen. A reading from the Revelation to John. And the kings of the earth, who committed fornication and lived in luxury with her, will weep and wail over Babylon when they see the smoke of her burning. They will stand far off in fear of her torment and say, Alas, alas, the great city, Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. And the merchants of the earth weep and mourn for her, since no one buys their cargo anymore, cargo of gold, silver, jewels and pearls, fine linen, purple, silk and scarlet, all kinds of scented wood, all articles of ivory, all articles of costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cinnamon, spice, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, olive oil, choice flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and chariots, slaves, and human lives. The fruit for which your soul longed has gone from you, and all your dainties and your splendor are lost to you, never to be found again. The merchants of these wares who gained wealth from her will stand far off, in fear of her torment, weeping and mourning aloud. Alas, alas, the great city, clothed in fine linen, in purple and scarlet, adorned with gold, with jewels, and with pearls, for in 1 hour all this wealth has been laid waste. And all shipmasters and seafarers, sailors, and all whose trade is on the sea, stood far off and cried out as they saw the smoke of her burning. What city was like the great city? And they threw dust on their heads as they wept and mourned, crying out, Alas, alas, the great city, where all who had ships at sea grew rich by her wealth. For in 1 hour she has been laid waste. Rejoice over her, O heaven, you saints and apostles and prophets, for God has given judgment for you against her. Here ends the lesson. The book of Revelation is disturbing and poetic and ambiguous, and the only thing I know for sure about this book is that we must not take it literally, nor stretch it on the rack of logic until we torture some simplicity of meaning from it. It's poetry. And so it sticks in the mind like a raspberry seed in your teeth. You can't leave it alone. It won't let you be. In this passage, John tells us of the destruction of Babylon, the city steeped in worldly power and wealth, imperial dominion, and material culture, representing everything filthy and sordid that accompanies devotion to those values. Babylon is laid waste, we are told, but we are given no details beyond the refrain that refers to her torment and the smoke of her burning. What we see and hear instead are the voices of those who have most benefited from her existence. They are now in mourning, weeping and wailing and covering their heads with dust. The kings of the earth mourn their lost license and luxury, the merchants their lost profits, the seafarers their lost trade. And the poet who wrote down the revelation records what is lost in a catalogue of treasures that sounds as if he is fingering and tasting and savoring everything he lists. All the gold and silver, jewels and pearls, fine linens and purples, silk and scarlet, scented wood, ivory, bronze, cinnamon, spice, incense, wine and oil. He can't seem to let them go, those fruits for which souls longed that now are gone, and all the dainties and splendors that are never to be found again. So powerful is this evocation of loss that we almost lose sight of the fact that what is lost is not just objects of sensuous beauty, but much that should never be objectified in the first place. The women erased in that word fornication, and those final items in the catalogue of riches, cattle, sheep, slaves, and human lives. I can't help but feel that these words are the words of our Western civilization, contemplating the destruction of our own Babylon of materialism and consumerism. For it can't last, can it? Our piling up of wealth through the despoiling of our planet and the exploitation of its poorer inhabitants. How long can we stand, like the merchants and the sailors, aloof from the burning world we built and enjoyed, regretting not our behavior, but only the comforts and the luxuries we fear losing? John opens our eyes to our own complicity and ambiguity. May it be so. Before we turn to the tasks of the day, let us pray for ourselves and for one another. Give us strength for this day. Give us joy in this day. Comfort those who suffer and those who mourn. Send us wherever we are needed and sustain us on our way. Help us to see clearly our own relationship to Babylon. And we pray together in the words that Jesus taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Let us bless the Lord. Thanks be to God.